Hello friends, welcome back to this video on probability and statistics. In this video, we'll be discussing some questions on random process. As they say, practice makes a man perfect. So here we'll be doing practice on this topic so that you will be understanding this topic very clearly. So here in this video, we are going to discuss some numericals on random process, but before that, I recommend you to watch my previous video where I discussed the concept of random process. Also, do watch the video where I discussed about the stationarity condition of random process, because both of these concepts are required to solve this question, and these concepts will be enhanced while solving these questions. So I recommend you to watch those videos first. So now coming to the first question. The first question states, consider a random process xt is equal to a cos omega naught t plus theta, where a and omega naught are constant and theta is uniformly distributed in 0 to 2 pi. Find the stationarity of the random process. So whenever we were discussing the random variable, we have x, and now we are discussing the random process, we'll be having x of t. So when we were discussing the random variable, mean was given by integration from minus to infinity x fx dx. So this was the mean. Now it is a random process. So here instead of x, we have a random process which is defined over time. So now here instead of x, we'll be having xt, and instead of fx, we are having f of theta, because here only theta is varying. So instead of fx, I'll be putting f of theta, and now we'll be integrating it over the theta. So now whenever we have to find out the stationarity condition, first thing we need to find out is mean, and second is autocorrelation function. So the formula of mean, I hope now you understood it very well. So the formula of mean is minus infinity to infinity xt f theta d theta. So now we'll be putting the values of xt f theta, and then we'll be finding out e, and we'll be checking it that it is following the stationarity condition or not. So before doing all these things, first we should know what is f theta. Now it is given in the question that f theta is a uniformly distributed function. Do you remember what it is? So it is uniformly distributed from 0 to 2 pi. So this is the distribution. So it is having the uniform distribution in the interval 0 to 2 pi, and its value is f of theta. So now here I can represent f of theta as, how I can represent a uniformly distributed function? I used to represent it as 1 upon b minus a. So 1 upon b is 2 pi minus 0. So 1 upon 2 pi minus 0 would be 1 upon 2 pi. So this is how I can represent f of theta. So now here you can see that it is ranging from 0 to 2 pi, and after that and before this it is 0. So now I can put these values in the estimate of this function is given by, now integration are changed from 0 to 2 pi. So now I am changing the limits from 0 to 2 pi. Now I'll be putting the value of xt. Xt is a cos omega naught t plus theta. Now f of theta would be 1 upon 2 pi. I have already found out this, into d theta. So now I just need to integrate it. I hope you know the integration. So e of t would be equal to, so now I can take a and 1 upon 2 pi outside, because these are constant. My integration is over d theta. So this only cos omega naught t plus theta is varying with theta. So here in the integration I'll be having cos omega naught t plus theta only. So now I know this integration. So this is a really simple integration to find out. So a upon 2 pi sine of omega naught t plus theta, and the limits are from 0 to 2 pi. So now when I put the limits, it is really simple now. So when I put the limit here, a upon 2 pi sine omega naught t plus 2 pi minus sine omega naught t plus 0. So I am taking it as omega naught t. So sine of theta plus 2 pi is equal to sine of theta. So sine of omega naught t minus sine of omega naught t would be 0. So here this and this will get cancelled out, and I am left out with a upon 2 pi into 0, which is 0. So now I can say E of t is 0. So now I have found out that mean is 0. So now the second thing I need to find out is autocorrelation function. So whenever I used to find out the stationarity condition, I used to check two things. First was mean and second was autocorrelation function. So I have checked that mean is not varying with time. Mean is constant, which is 0, which is not a function of time. And even if I found out the ensemble mean, so if I see this function xt is a cos omega naught t plus theta. Now if I vary the theta from 0 to 2 pi, I'll be having a full wave of cos. So I hope you can see a full wave of cos will be like this. So here I'll be having equal positive and negative part. So the mean of equal positive and negative part would be 0. So I can say the mean is equal to the ensemble mean also. So here the mean is constant, it is equal to the ensemble mean. Now about the autocorrelation function. So the autocorrelation function, I am denoting it with ACF. It is given by E of xt1 into xt2. So this is the formula to find out the autocorrelation function. So I just take the random process, same random process at different time. I'll multiply the random process and I'll find out its mean. So putting the value of xt1 and xt2, will just change the variable t here as t1 and t2. So here I'll be having E of a cos omega naught t1 plus theta into a cos omega naught t2 plus theta. So now I can find out this mean. I can simplify it first. So here I'll be having a square cos omega naught t1 plus theta into cos omega naught t2 plus theta. So now this is cos A cos B. So I can divide by 2 and multiply by 2. So here I'll be having E of, so a square upon 2 into 2 cos of omega naught t1 plus theta cos of omega naught t2 plus theta. So now this is 2 cos A cos B. I know the formula of 2 cos A cos B is equal to cos of A plus B plus cos of A minus B. So now I know this formula. I'll just replace this cos of A into cos of B into 2 by this formula. So here I'll be having A as this full function and this would be my B. So now the mean of this would be simplified as A square, E of A square upon 2 and cos of, so here A plus B would be omega naught t1 plus theta plus omega naught t2 plus theta. So here I can take omega naught common. So t1 plus t2 plus 2 theta. So this is A plus B plus cos of A minus B. So here I have omega naught t1 plus theta, omega naught t2 plus theta. Theta and theta will get cancelled out, and here I'll be having omega naught t1 minus t2. So this is my autocorrelation function. So here I'll be denoting it with ACF, here also ACF. So now I just need to simplify it. So mean is a linear function, I have already told out. So mean would be going here inside and it will be multiplying with this cost function and this cost function. So here I'll be having a square by 2, it's a constant, I can take it outside. So it is multiplied with mean of cos omega naught t1 plus t2 plus 2 theta plus mean of cos omega naught t1 minus t2. So now here I can see mean of cos omega naught t1 plus t2. So I can represent t1 plus t2 as t. So I'll be finding out this as a dash and this as b dash. So a dash is given as mean of cos of omega naught t1 plus t2 plus 2 theta. So I can represent it as mean of cos omega naught t dash plus 2 theta. So now it will be having the similar form as this equation. So now I just have changed t dash. There would be no difference in changing the t dash. So now because here also it was variable with respect to theta, here also it is variable with respect to 2 theta. So now I can directly say a dash is 0. So now I need to find out b dash to find out the autocorrelation function. So here I am using this space for this question only. So now b dash would be equal to mean of cos omega naught t1 minus t2. So how can I find out mean of cos omega naught t1 minus t2? So here again I'll be using this formula. So again the limits are from 0 to 2 pi. Now xt is now cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So this is my xt multiplied by f theta, so which is 1 upon 2 pi into d theta. So now this function is constant with respect to theta. I can take it outside. So b dash is equal to cos of omega naught t1 minus t2 into integration from 0 to 2 pi 1 upon 2 pi d theta. 1 upon 2 pi is also constant and the integration of d theta would be theta. So b dash is equal to cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So here 1 by 2 pi into theta, and theta is changing from 2 pi to 0. So now here I can directly cancel out this. So I have found out that b dash is equal to cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So this is my b dash now. I'll put the b dash value in this equation and I'll find out the autocorrelation function. So the autocorrelation function would be given as a square upon 2. Now this is a dash is 0, 0 plus this is b dash is cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So now from here you can see that if I simplify it and write it down, so it would be equal to a square upon 2 cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So I can say the autocorrelation function is a function of t1 minus t2 only. So whenever I was discussing the stationarity condition anywhere, I used to say the autocorrelation function should depend upon the difference of time t1 minus t2, and you can see from this equation here. So this is the equation. From here you can directly see the autocorrelation function is not dependent upon theta, rather it depends upon the time difference only, which is t1 minus t2. So I can represent the autocorrelation function as a function of t1 minus t2, or I can take t1 minus t2 is equal to tau. So autocorrelation function would be equal to a square by 2 cos of omega naught tau. So It's a simple function. So now here I saw that the mean condition was satisfied and the autocorrelation function's condition is also satisfied. So I can say this process is wide sense stationary. So I can say this is a wide sense stationary random process. I hope you understood this. If you still have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I'll try to resolve it as soon as possible. So now coming to the next question. The next question states a random process is given by xt is equal to a cos omega naught t, where omega naught is constant, a is a random variable uniformly distributed in 0 to 1. Find mean and autocorrelation function ACF. So now here I can see that a is a random variable. Now here what was the random variable? Theta was changing. Here a is changing. So now the question is different. Although it seems like it's the same question, no, it is not. Here this function was changing in the xt, but here this a is changing in xt. So now these two are different questions. So again I need to find out mean and autocorrelation function. So now I know the formula of mean. So xt here is given, f theta would be a uniform distribution in between 0 to 1. So here this is 0 to 1. This is my f of a now, because a is varying now. So instead of f of theta, I will be putting f of a. So here e would be minus infinity to infinity x of t f of a dA. So now I will be putting all the values, and this question is very easy. So limits are changing from 0 to 1. I will not repeat the basic steps again. So xt is a cos omega naught t. Now fa would be here 1 upon b minus a. So 1 minus 0. So f of a is equal to 1. So I hope now you understood. It's a uniform distribution. It is written that it is uniformly distributed, and the PDF of the uniform distribution is given by 1 upon b minus a. b is 1, a is 0. So 1 upon 1 minus 0 would be 1. So f of a is 1. So it is multiplied with 1, and here I'll be putting dA. So now I can easily find out this integration. It is really easy. So here it would be, so now I have to take the cos omega naught t outside. It's a constant, only a is changing. So cos omega naught t integration from 0 to 1 a into dA. So integration of a dA, it's really easy. It can be found out easily. So cos omega naught t into a square by 2, and a is changing from 0 to 1. So mean would be, E would be cos omega naught t into 1 by 2 minus 1 is equal to cos omega naught t upon 2. So now I have found out mean. Similarly, in the similar way, I'll be finding out the autocorrelation function. So ACF is equal to E of xt1 into xt2. Similarly, I'll write down E of xt1. So it would be a cos omega naught t1 into a cos omega naught t2. So again I'll be using the formula cos a plus b and cos of a minus b. So here E of a square upon 2 cos of a plus b. A plus b would be omega naught t1 plus t2 and cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So I can again find out the E mean of this formula. So now mean would be, now this is my xt, so mean would be a square by 2. The integration limits are from 0 to 1, and here I'll be having cos of omega naught t1 plus t2 into cos of omega naught t1 minus t2. So now, and dA. So now this cos and this cos are not dependent upon A, I can take both of them outside. So here I'll be having cos of omega naught T1 plus T2 into cos of omega naught T1 minus T2, and now it is multiplied by integration from 0 to 1 a square by 2 dA. So now here I can find out this integration. So instead of writing this, I'll directly write, so 1 by 2 into the integration of a square would be a cube upon 3, and the limits are 0 to 1. So putting the value of the limits a cube by 3, when I put 1 would be 1 by 3, and when I put 0 it would be 0. So instead of a cube by 3, here I'll be directly putting 1 upon 3 minus 0. So here I'll be having 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 into this function. This is my autocorrelation function. So now from here you can see the autocorrelation function, instead of depending on T1 minus T2, it is depending upon T1 plus T2 as well. So autocorrelation function is not a simple function of T1 minus T2. I cannot say and I cannot write it in any sense that it would be equal to cos of omega naught T1 minus T2 only, or any function which is only of T1 minus T2 only. So I can say this autocorrelation function is not dependent upon T1 minus T2, and this autocorrelation function is not following the stationarity condition. Similarly, if I see the mean is dependent upon the time, and I can say mean is also not following the stationarity condition. So here I can say this function is not wide sense stationary. So I hope now you understood clearly how I can find out the stationarity condition and how I can say any random process that it is stationary or not. So I'll be stopping at this point. In the next video I'll be coming up with some new questions. I hope you like these videos. If you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and push the like button. Thank you.